Welcome, my name is Emma Wazowski. This is 208 Classroom News on the Lifetime channel. Which is for women.
No, it's not.
A couple of weeks ago, we went on the search for the world's greatest dad. We watched hours and hours of submission, but only one really touched our hearts. 3 children from Brookfield, Wisconsin submitted their video about their father, Walter Lenhoff, and it changed our lives. We decided to fly to Wisconsin and interview them. This is their interview.
The fact that you love everyone, you love the whole family, doesn't matter, I know there are some things that, you get mad at, but, the fact that you still love us all, and that's probably one of the best things. Also, the fact that you teach us all, everything from, building, helping with, racing and, I don't know, whatever, else you can help us with, cars and that kind of stuff. The fact that you also listen to us too. If we ever need, someone to, go to, that you'll listen to us. And you're being just very supportive of all of us, from, me and racing, Tom with, soccer, and going to Louisville, and then Michelle, with all of her things. So, I mean, it's probably one of the, I can't really think of one thing that makes you special, but those are all kind of things that, make you special.
What makes my dad special? Lots of things. He's always there for me whenever I need him. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I break my car or mess something up or do something completely stupid, and he's always the one getting in the car, the one driving, and the one that's, there automatically. And he's just always supporting me in everything that I do, and I do stupid things all the time, so to have someone that's like that, it means a lot to me. He gives of himself completely. There's so many times that he's done something that absolutely blew my mind. I mean, this is the guy that loves to sleep. He loves to just, go to bed, and 9 o'clock, 8:30, whatever it is, it's strawberry milk, it's heated up, it's ready to go. But one night this last summer, my cat ate some flowers on the table, and I went with my mom and my grandma, and we rushed to the emergency room, and he called. I don't even know what time it was, but it was well past his bedtime. I know my mom was shocked that he was still up. So just to have that, he called just to make sure I was okay. He stayed up till I got home. He called me, I think, the next day, and I talked to him. He's very supportive. He knew that this cat meant everything to me, and he was like a son to me. So to get that level of support is just ridiculous, because I can't tell you how many hours he's given up on my car. I drove it into a tree. He's there to fix it. Spent like 7 months on it or something stupid like that. I hit a curb, and he's been spending this last whole week fixing it. I can't even fathom everything that I need to say right now, because he's just so amazing in everything that he does. And I don't know what I would do without him, because anytime something goes wrong, I can call him. Anytime I need money, I can call. This is the guy that wants to give me money all the time, and I'm like, Dad, stop, don't give me money. Like, let me struggle, let me be stupid. I'm stupid with my money, so just let me be stupid. And he doesn't do that. He gave me $50 to get a haircut. I think the haircut cost $13. He knew that. He knew that more than anybody else. He knew that he can give me extra, and he's always trying to do that. So to have someone like that is amazing, and I just hope I can be that generous and give of people, and I try to do that. Try to give anything I can, and I got that from him. So that's why I think he's very special to me.
I think what makes Dad so special is that he is a combination of stern and loving at the same time. He's known for being the disciplinarian of the family when we grew up. you knew not to take the last Mountain Dew, and you knew not to wake him up from his nap. That's for sure. And what was really interesting, though, was when you really messed up, like I did when I broke my bedroom door. He was the most understanding guy in the world, and he was still a really loving father, and he tells us when he's proud of us, and that he loves us, and I think that's amazing. I remember after my first semester of high school, Dad was telling me goodnight, and he paused on the way out of my door and turned back and said, I just want you to know I'm really proud of you, because I had done well that semester. And I just remember that being just like a really, really great moment. And I always wanted to make my dad proud of me. So I think even though Dad was the disciplinarian of the family, which I definitely made us better people, it's amazing that at the same time we got to have this really amazing relationship with him. And I think that's what's really, really special about him and having him as a father.
I'm constantly learning from, being a good person to, racing and improving myself too. Trying to actually help other people too, and improving my confidence and that kind of stuff. One of the things that, with, cars, you taught me, things like that. And so that's, a great thing for all of us. And I'd like to, be able to pass that down to, the next generation and that kind of stuff. So that's that. Also, the fact that you have a passion, for anything. We're not for anything, but you have a passion for what you do, and you love what you do, and that's what I've learned and I've seen, and hopefully I do that and become a passionate person, which seems whatever. So that's that. You taught numerous things.
I think the first thing that stands out is my math brain is the ability to understand new concepts and just that whole process of learning new things when it comes to math and those kind of skills. Obviously, I'm not Michelle. I'm not an actuary, but I think I can understand 5th grade math, which right now is all the level that I need. I think I'm pretty smart at that, so thank you. And I think the second part is that he taught me to fix things and how to think outside the box. And although I'm not Wally, I think he still values that, which blows my mind because so many times I think that I'm not smart enough to even give him a suggestion. But I remember working on the garage, and he truly valued what I had to say for that. And I don't think he even realized that how much that meant to me, because everyone always looks at Wally and Dad as the people that can fix cars and fix all those things, and obviously Dad fixes my car all the time. But that ability to just fix something that's broken, I'm able to just think about it, and that it's that whole process of okay, how am I going to problem solve, and that goes back to that math brain and fixing something like the garage door. Obviously his solution worked better than mine, shocker, but I still tried, and I still think my way would have been great. I think if you moved the whole bracket over, it would have worked, but that was too much work for Dad. That's fine. But I think that that I got that from him, and I think he's taught me that throughout the years, how to fix a problem and not go to someone else, but to fix it myself. And really, when the first time you said this question to me, the thing that stood out was, and it's something that as a group of siblings we talk about it all the time, is how to be in a relationship, whether that be how to be a husband or how to be a dad. He's just fantastic at it. Him and Mom are everything, and they just know exactly how to raise their kids and how to treat each other, and it just blows my mind. And if I can be half of what they are as a couple, then I know I'm succeeding. You understand what I'm saying? I know that if I'm half as good as what they are as a couple, and as how he treats her and she treats him, then I am going to be the happiest man alive. And I think that's very valuable, because he and Mom both taught us, all three of us, that how to be nice to people and friendly to people, and how to behave in school, and how to behave in church, and really how we feel. And I mean, I talked about this earlier at the earlier question about feeling bad about something, or like when he takes care of me. But he taught me, and Mom taught me how to like feel. And it's just how to feel bad about yourself, like, but not in a bad way, but like how to be intrinsically motivated. If I mess up, I go to him and I say, hey, I messed up, and I'm expecting yelling and screaming and shouting and all that, and he's just like, okay, how do we fix this? Or, like, he gives me a look, and that's it. It's over. I feel awful. And that's how it should be. You should feel bad because of something you did bad. You should feel bad because of what you're doing. Like, you should just, if you make a mistake, you should feel bad because you made a mistake, not because that you're getting screamed at. That's not what happens. But the biggest disappointment in our whole lives, the thing that bothered the three of us the most, was letting those two down. And it feels like at times I always let them down. And just to let them down and to see how well they handle everything is just ridiculous. And I know Dad growing up was not the softy that he is now. Now he's sitting on the floor with Aiden and Haley and Claire, and they're just going crazy on the floor and hanging out, and he has his iPod and he's going nuts. But that's not how he used to be, and I think I appreciate that about him. We needed to have good cop, bad cop, kinda. We needed to have the one that was kind of organizing everything, and I really thank them for that. And so my dad has taught me so much, and I'm still to this day trying to live up to his expectations and to truly succeed the same way that he succeeded, providing for his family and raising three fantastic kids and having a fantastic wife. He knows how to pick them. So I'm very, very grateful for him.
I think there are three qualities that I really learned from my dad and that I really admire in him. I think the first one is just that he was always there for us. And this is something I saw in Mom too, that no matter how unimportant something really was, if it was a banquet, a sporting event, a concert, they were always there. And I think that was something that was really good for us to grow up with as kids, because not only do you have that support of your parents, but you also just see what it's like to support other people and to be there for other people. So I think that was really important. Another thing was Dad always keeps his promises. He's very reliable. He always does what he's going to do, what he says he's going to do, even when things are a little more difficult than they originally sound like. For example, kayaking this summer was supposed to be a lot easier than it turned out to be. We were supposed to be just going down the river in Milwaukee, and when that didn't work out, instead of just saying, oh, well, you put in a lot of effort to find another place to go in Pewaukee, and we went kayaking there, and it's just really nice to have his word be so reliable. And I guess I really hope that one day people can take my word as really reliable too, and it's just a quality I really admire. I think the third thing is his perseverance. We all know Dad is the fixer of the family, and he never gives up. He Googles everything. He looks at solution after solution after solution and multiple web pages, and he doesn't just give in and take the easy way out. And I think that's been something that was really important for me to see. And that I've tried to pick up in my own schoolwork, because I've always seen how my dad kept trying and trying and trying and didn't give up at the first obstacle. And that's something I really admire and really wanted to take on myself. So I think, I mean, those three qualities are definitely things that I learned from my dad.
That would actually probably be one day when we were racing at Badger, and you actually were racing the first time that I got to watch you race. You know, in a while. You hadn't actually gotten into a kart, in a couple, in a few years. So that was actually probably one of the coolest moments, only because that showed that it gave you can do whatever you really want if you just put your heart to it, or it gave me the confidence to um, get out of your comfort zone a little bit. If and actually do something that you haven't done in a while, which actually was probably one of the coolest things that he kind of taught me with that experience. It was also kind of um, I don't know, kind of neat that he hadn't done it in a while, and that you were able to go out there and um, do really well that day. That was a very proud moment from my for me, I guess, to see that happen. So I mean, I know there's many other memories that are out there, but that was the one that probably stuck out the most throughout the whole my whole life. I mean, there's many memories. Just the fact that I can you to spend time with you, and just get to know little things here and there, and learn from you. And so that's probably, I'd say, probably my favorite memory of that. So
Wow, favorite memory. I mean, not to be negative about it. Growing up, the memories that stick out about Dad the most are, and they're funny to me now. They weren't so funny then. Were the days that I would say something smart and idiotic in the family room, and I would be sitting in the thing, and he's like, "Go to your room," and he would stand there, and he would just wait. And you'd have to like do this like butt scoop where you walk, and then you get there and you tuck your butt in, and and it was, he never made contact, but one day I was waiting for him, and it would have been a solid contact, and then he would chase you a little, and then this is the best part of the story, is that about 30 minutes later you're bawling your eyes out, and you expect him to come into the room and be upset and angry. And he probably was a little upset. He was probably still a little angry. But everything was over. Everything was calm. Everything was great. Everything was fixed. And he would come in, he would have a conversation, and he would just sit there, and like this person that like just terrified you 30 minutes later is having like this super deep conversation, and I think that's what I mean, it builds into you, like you felt bad about disappointing him more than you felt bad about him getting mad, and never did you blame him for getting mad, but at the end of those 30 minutes you sat in your room and you thought, what an idiot I am for saying something so dumb, and they know me. They know that I'm gonna say something dumb, and that and the stomping during nap time if I knock something on the ground, and you just hear bam, 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 bam down down the hallway, and it was the scariest 10 seconds of your life, and you got huddled all up in the corner, but he came in and he said, "Quiet," and you were done, and it was over. And then you felt bad. and it was done. But though that's the childhood. It's then we got older, and we got to this age where we stopped being father and son, and we started actually being friends, and I think that has everything to do with it. And the most important out of those things was the rides to and from Louisville, where we would sit in the car for hours and just talk about nothing. And he probably sat there like, oh my God, he needs to shut up. But it was great, and I loved it, and I feel bad looking back on it, because there were so many times where I ended up like rushing somewhere, or like Selena had to hang out, or I had to be back for this, or I had to be back for that, and I never truly enjoyed things, and that's one of my biggest regrets of it, is the childhood of always, I want to do this, I want to do that. Things that mean nothing to me now, I traded for things that would have meant the world to me today. Like go-kart racing, for example. I was so against it. I was so against being there on Sunday and giving up my entire Sunday, and it sucked, and I hated nap time, and I had the worst thing in the world. On Saturdays we had to take a stupid nap for 2 hours. On Sundays we had to go go-kart racing for all day. It was awful. But I would give all that up to do it again. I would give everything we did up to do it again, because that was amazing to me. It was amazing. I wish I would have spent more time go-kart racing. I wish I would have spent more time on the drives to Louisville getting to know my dad, instead of worrying about all this stuff. I mean, this is another a ridiculous memory. Can't even, it kills me to think about this, because there's no way I would ever do this for my son. Sorry. Selena was messaging me on my phone, and Facebook messages would go to my text messages, and they weren't working anymore, and so I had no way of contacting her, and I was gonna be home in, I think, like 4 hours, and for some reason I couldn't go 4 hours. And I don't even think I asked Dad, can we do something about this? I think he just said, what can we do about this? And he pulled over on some random place. We found a hotel with free Wi-Fi. And I sat there, and outside the hotel, in the car, setting up my phone again, so that I can continue to text message her in the car as we drove home for 4 hours. I was going to be home in 4 hours. And he never stopped. He never once thought that was absolutely crazy. And I still think about that to this day and think how mind-boggled I am that you would stop outside of a hotel room, or outside a hotel for like 30 minutes while I set up my iPod so I could text a girl that wasn't even my girlfriend at the time, just to have a conversation with her. And that is crazy to me. I mean, we drove through awful weather just to see people. Like, just to see Selena one time. Like, where we almost, like, died. But my dad knew the importance of getting there and seeing her at that time, whatever. So, it just, memories like that, I mean, he goes out of his way. It blows my mind. I don't get it. Like, why? Why would you ever do that for someone? But he does. And he still does it. That just blows my mind. And the last memory that popped in my head when you said that was the story of, and this is my favorite one, of him getting drunk with me on on pictures at some stupid fest. And it was just Mom and Michelle and Dad and I, and we were just sitting there, and Dad and I were drinking. Michelle wasn't 21 yet. Mom had to drive, so it was just the two of us. And we went picture after picture after picture, and all of a sudden we're sitting, and he's sitting in the, and Mom's like, I'm gonna drive. Michelle, and then Dad's like, I'll sit in the back with Tom, with my buddy, or something stupid like that. And I've never seen Dad drunk, so it was so funny. And he's like, I'll sit back in the seat with Tom, the two of us, blah, blah, all this nonsense. And he's sitting there, and we just got started. And I'm sitting on the right, he's sitting on the left, and I'm just looking at him, and he kind of leans forward a little bit, and he's like dead center. He like moved to the center, so in the middle of the mirror, and he's just sitting there like this. And he's like, it's like cold back, it's cold back here. And I was sitting there, and I am a little, tipsy, a little feeling drunk. And I started like dying. I thought I was going to pee my pants, because there's this grown man in a backseat, drunk, raising his hand and going like, it's cold. And I was like, did you just raise your hand? It was one of the funniest things I've ever experienced in my life, no matter what happened. And it was with my dad, which makes it so much better. And I think the fact that he never did anything like that before or after makes it so much more special. And that was a funny moment that will always stick with me. That was hilarious, and I loved it. I loved every second of that. It was like 5 seconds of the best moment in my life. It's so funny. So I think those are the core memories, and I'm sure I'm forgetting so many that stood out, but I think those are the ones that really stick out when I think about my dad.
I don't know if I can narrow it down to one specific memory. I guess my favorite part of, my relationship with my dad was always our walks that we would do on Saturday mornings when I was growing up. It would oftentimes be just me, him, and the dog. And those were always my favorite part of my Saturdays. It kind of felt like going on a little adventure when I was a kid. So that was a lot of fun. And I mean, we'd have really good talks sometimes, and other times we'd just have fun hiding from the dog. And, some days it was freezing and our toes were feeling like they were going to fall off, and other days we were being bitten alive by mosquitoes. But I still remember those being just really great moments, just that I got to spend with my dad. I just got to spend time with him. So.
The book of love is long and boring. No one can lift the damn thing. It's full of charts and facts and figures and instructions for dancing. But I love it when you read to me, and you can read me anything. The book of love has music in it. In fact, that's where music comes from. Some of it's just transcendental. Some of it's just really done.
My dad is really good at a lot of. Did you just beat me?